happening, people? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. Happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday. I hope you are all doing well. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. If you are new here, we haven't got the Brian and Mbeumo Here We Go, but maybe we might get it in the next 24 hours, maybe the next 48 hours, maybe in the next 2 hours. I don't even know at this point. I genuinely don't know when we're going to get it, but it's been reported by quite a few different journalists that Manchester United are edging closer to finalizing a deal. They're just crossing the T's, dotting the I's to agree what the add-ons are, but it sounds like Brentford are going to get the price that they wanted for their man. So the fact is that Manchester United have been in talks for over 3.5 weeks with Brentford. It's been about 3 weeks since they've submitted their first bid, and eventually they're just going to pay what Brentford have been asking for. So they could have got this done maybe sooner, but alas, here we are. So we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Brian and Mbeumo. We've got to talk about Jadon Sancho to freedom, or maybe not, because it sounds like Juve, Napoli, everybody is put off paying what he's asking for when it comes to wages. Now, no club seems to have an issue with the transfer fee of £25 million, but it sounds like the biggest hurdle for every single club that are in talks with Marcus Rashford is the wages. It's the wages that are holding them back. Every time they're getting somewhere, the wages just pull them back. So we're going to talk about that, because is Jadon Sancho to freedom or to not? To freedom or to not? We don't really know at this point. We're going to talk about Zaire-Emery, because that's a name that's just popped up today. I don't really think there's much to it, but we're going to talk about the possible prospect of United signing another PSG midfielder. And this time it's a midfielder that I don't think is that bad. I actually like Zaire-Emery. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about reports suggesting that Viktor Gyokeres has told Manchester United, you know what? I don't really mind joining you guys. We're going to talk about that, but we're going to take it with a pinch of salt. We're going to talk about Marcus Rashford. We're going to talk about Diogo Costa. We have so much on the agenda today, guys. So if you guys don't hit the like button, you know what I'm going to say. You are a disgrace. Make sure you follow me on all platforms right here. You can see right here. You see right there. That's where you see all my apps are the same on every social media platform: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can find me on there, or you could just go link in the bio of this video right now, and you can go over and follow me over there. I'm trying to post a lot more on TikTok, trying to post consistently on Instagram as well. So I'm trying to build a community everywhere. You guys know what it is, but make sure you guys hit the like button. And obviously, when we get the Brian and Mbeumo, here we go, you lot know I will drop a video straight away, immediately, like within the first 10 minutes. You lot might find out Brian and Mbeumo Here We Go because of me, because that's how quickly I'm going to drop videos when Man United announce, or Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, etc. announce that Man United have agreed terms with a player. Big up to Uthman, says, how's the leg, Mina? You know what? My leg is okay. Today and yesterday, it's been better. It's been better, alhamdulillah. So I think I'm slowly on the mend, but I just have to listen to the doctor when the doctor tells me not to put excessive weight on it, and make sure I do stretches every day. Otherwise, it will get better. Today, I'm not actually using my brace. I got like it's like a bandage thing that you wrap on your knee. So I'm using that today. But obviously, if I go out for long periods of time, I got to use the brace and I got to use the crutch. But it's all right. And guys, I don't think you guys have noticed. Let me put the mic like this. Can you guys see this here? I did an unboxing video on my social media, on my Instagram and on my TikTok. I did an unboxing. But shout out to Puma, because they sent me a rare edition custom made. Well, it's not custom made for me, but it's custom made for the people that they sent it to. It's in a glass box. The new Premier League football. Again, I was going to say custom made, but I'm lying, because it's not custom made for me. But the box is a rare edition. It's a rare edition, as they released the new Premier League footballs. I got my hands on one, so shout out to Puma for sending it to me. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of had to demote my Total 90 football that I received from Nike. Sorry, Nike. But that's because, it's the new Premier League campaign upcoming, so I gotta have the new football. Big up to Haroon. Big up. I hope you're doing well, Haroon. What are you saying, Courts? I hope you're doing well. Big up to Abdul Shakur. Says, it looks like Fenerbahce is offering more wages than Juve at the moment. I think I say this all the time, if Jadon Sancho ends up playing at Fenerbahce just because of the money, then it's sad. It's sad. I get football is not a long career, and I understand that football requires, you got to make your money but enjoy your job at the same time. But it would be damn near surprising if Jadon Sancho is not budging on his salary, and it leads him to the Turkish league at the age of 24. Now, no disrespect to the Turkish league, because I know how much they embrace football and how passionate they are. Fenerbahce fans, Galatasaray fans, Besiktas fans, etc. I know that for a fact. But with saying that, I don't think, seeing Leroy Sané playing how he is right now at that age of 29 and going to the Turkish league, at least he's achieved a lot. He's achieved. If Jadon Sancho achieved half of what Leroy Sané achieved, then Jadon Sancho would have a successful career. But he's not done any of that. So for him to not be willing to budge because of the financial gains or the financial opportunities, and try to stay firm in his decision of staying or of going to a club that will pay what he wants, it's kind of sad, honestly. I honestly think it's kind of sad. But let's actually start with, I feel like these are the topics we're talking about a lot this season, guys. Marcus Rashford, Sancho, Onana. Garnacho hasn't really popped up much. Højlund hasn't really popped up that much. But I think over the last week or so, the common conversations we've been having is about Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho. So just quickly on Marcus Rashford, it sounds like it's been reported that Barcelona want to offer a simple 1-year loan deal for Marcus Rashford, which includes a standard fee and paying a large part of his salary. They do not have any plans to buy him on a permanent due to their financial restrictions and their desire to bring in Nico Williams. So just quickly on Barcelona, guys, if you lot have not been following what's happening between Barcelona and Athletic Club. Athletic Club are about to approach La Liga. I think they're trying to say that Barcelona were courting Nico Williams behind their back to basically agree terms, and they don't appreciate that. So they're getting ready to complain about Barcelona to La Liga because they don't want to sell him, and they're scared that Barcelona agreeing terms with Nico Williams, he's going to push and go on strike and, try force an exit. Also, another thing is that Barcelona are not trying to pay his release clause in full. They're not trying to pay the release clause in full. And on top of that, Barcelona are trying to pay it in installments, which obviously, the financial situation that Barcelona are in. So I will keep an eye on that Nico Williams situation because yes, Nico Williams to Barcelona, they've agreed personal terms, but from a club perspective, it may truly not happen because Athletic Club are not keen. Like Athletic Club are they're a very historic and patriotic club, right? They have, what's it called? They have their morals that are based on the foundations of their club, and they don't want to directly strengthen, another Spanish giant. As good as the money may sound like, and it is good money. It is good money. With saying that, I think Marcus Rashford will keep an eye on this because we know that he's been trying to push this kind of narrative that he wants to join Barcelona. And I saw today as well, Ivan Perisic. You lot are probably wondering, why the hell are we talking about Perisic? Perisic is going to a club. He was a target of Barcelona. So I think now that has happened, that he's not going to Barcelona because they wanted to bring him in for depth purposes. Ronnie Bardghji, I keep pronouncing his name wrong. He might be going out on loan after they're about to buy him for about 2.5 million. They will need depth in that front line. And Marcus Rashford might land himself a role at Barcelona simply by just being the most patient. Like every other player is keen to get that move before preseason, but it sounds like Marcus Rashford is ready and happy to play the long game because it's how we were saying Bilbao or bust before the Europa League. For him, it's Barcelona or bust. It's Barca or nothing. And maybe come deadline day, if he still hasn't got that move yet, his camp might be running around trying to get him a quick loan move. But I think the patient one might get the move that he waits for. I can't. It's pronounced Ronnie Bardghji, as in it's not D. It's because it's DHJI. So the DHJI is pronounced Key. Is that what you're saying? Because I keep pronouncing it like it's an Arab name, but I don't think it's an Arab name, if I'm not wrong. Perisic going PSV, yeah, there you go. That's where Perisic is heading to. He's happy to be a sub at Barcelona. Wild. I don't know if that's wild, guys. Do you think him being happy to be a Barcelona bench boy, if you want to call it that, is wild, because in one way I think he's looking at it like, oh, I think Marcus Rashford is at a time where he needs to win something major. Like he needs to win big. But also I think he also maybe feels like a team like Barcelona, he can play a role in, you know, competing for La Liga and competing for Champions League, and that puts him back on the main stage. It puts him back in the eyes of the top dogs, especially with the World Cup upcoming as well. Because when he was performing decently at Aston Villa, he got that call up back to the England squad. Rashid is thinking about legacy. Yeah, I think he's thinking about his legacy. He's probably thinking, I can't leave the game. Like, I can't go to Turkey at the age of 30 or 31 having just a Carabao and a Europa League. Like, I need a league title. I need a league title. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit about basketball, guys, right? When you think of basketball, and when I think of when I'm talking about basketball and debating basketball, me and my friends always talk about, you know, some of the best NBA players that never won a ring. Yeah. And when we talk about best shooters or the best players of like certain eras, names always pop up. And some people always be like, oh, but he never won a ring. That person never won a championship. It's the same, I think, with Marcus Rashford. No one is going to remember Marcus. People will remember him for what he did at Manchester United in terms of coming through in the academy and that story that he had. But after a certain point, no one's going to remember what you did because you didn't win anything of substance. And that's not to say the Europa League isn't something big, because that's still a European trophy, and the FA Cup is still a big English trophy. But it's not a league title, and it's not Champions League. So I don't agree necessarily here. Uthman says it, coattailing your glory, coattailing your way to glory ain't it, man. I can't lie. Kind of sad. It is sad. It is sad. But I also think Marcus, do you guys think Marcus Rashford thinks he's above certain teams? Because let's be honest, last summer when he was linked to leaving, we saw PSG pop up. PSG was a name that always seems to pop up. But when I can't lie, when I watch Luis Enrique football, I think he could be a squad player, just in terms of how quick he is and the way they play on the counter. But when you're looking at Barcola and you're looking at Desiree Doué, all of them, PSG and Barcelona, he was apparently open to that PSG move, quotes, PSG move. He was open to it. Now he's pushing for Barcelona. I think Marcus Rashford thinks he's better than some teams. You know, a team like Aston Villa coming around last minute to bring him in was more so, I need to go and play football so that in the summer I can get the moves that I want, because no big club is coming in for you in the January window. And he did the right thing. I think he did the right thing going to Aston Villa, because, you know, I swear it was reported as well that when he went to Villa, he was still living in Manchester. So he was commuting from Manchester to Birmingham. For those of you who are not from the UK, I've been to Aston Villa's training ground. It's just on the outskirts of the M1 in Birmingham. So it must be like about a 2-hour drive, maybe hour and a half drive, no traffic. It's probably an hour and a half drive. So it was reported that he was still living in Manchester. So I think it was a calculated move. It's somewhere close, still local to where he lives, can play regular football, can get back on the kind of England squad with a new manager in. Thomas Tuchel already publicly said that he liked Marcus Rashford. And now this summer is more the make or break summer for him. And like I said, he might be a sitting duck. He might be sitting around just waiting and waiting and waiting for Barcelona to get something right. And if Barcelona turns around and says, we don't need any more attackers, because I actually think Barcelona need to sign some defenders. If Barcelona turn around and do that, he's going to be like, oh shit, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Rashford isn't better than Aston Villa. I don't think any player in a slump like this necessarily is better than any club, because I think it's disrespectful for you to look at a club and think you're better than playing at that club. I think that's disrespectful. Like certain players, yes, like the Pelés, like the Rooneys, like the R9s, like the Messis, yes, Wayne, Cristiano Ronaldo, etc. Them guys are 100%. I could be like, you know what, they're better than certain clubs. But when you're in a slump like this, where you haven't performed well for 2 seasons, and you know you've publicly been outed by the manager, and you've been kind of exiled from the club, you should be playing, in my opinion, with a chip on your shoulder, like you have something to prove. Like, have you guys ever been in school? Like me, I was a good kid in school. Yeah, I was a good kid in school. But you always have that one teacher, I think, in high schools, in especially in secondary schools in the UK, you will always have one or two teachers that will try and pull you down and be like, you'll never like, for example, when I was in high school, guys, I wanted to be, I know it sounds crazy, but I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. I wanted to be an engineer of airplanes. Now that I see what happens with Boeing, I'm glad that I'm not one. But I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. And I remember one of my teachers saying, oh, like that is really tough to study in university, and you have to get really good grades in A levels, etc. Maybe you should try something like, I don't know, maths. And I was like, oh, okay. But one of my other teachers, when he found out that I wanted to study aeronautical engineering, he made sure that I did the like A levels necessary, that I did well in the GCSEs that was necessary. I had a chip on my shoulder. The teacher was right. Yeah, at the end of the day, I was never going to be an aeronautical engineer. But I had a chip on my shoulder at that point because I was like, I have to do well to prove to this teacher, you know what? Maybe I could be. Maybe I could be. Now it's funny because now that teacher probably turns on TV and sees me talking about football. So life is a funny thing. Anyways, the point is, people like Marcus Rashford should be playing like he got a chip on his shoulder. That's what he should be doing. Like he's got a point to prove. You just got kicked out like Uncle Phil kicked Jazz out of the house in Bel Air. He got picked up and dashed out of Old Trafford by Ruben Amorim, and he wants to sit around on his arse and sulk and push for one club and one club only. Fair play for wearing a hoodie in this weather. It's not even hot. It's so cold outside. I don't know where you are in the world, but where I am, it's cold outside and it's windy as hell. I think Rashford has a bad circle around him, not looking into his best interests. I think Rashford wants football, but the circle want the more than that. I don't know if this is necessarily to Rashford, but I have heard and I have seen in the past, like a lot of people like to gas footballers up, like people within their circles. So if they do something wrong, I can imagine they will have people around them that probably live off them, that they support financially, that work for them, because a lot of people tend to give jobs to like their friends or their relatives, like be my PA, be this, be that, whatever. They will have people around them that are, I'll say, like yes men. So I don't know if that's down to specifically him, but I think environment is key. Environment is key, and that's why I keep saying Marcus Rashford, a player like Marcus Rashford, should leave England. Like if this deal falls through for him with Barcelona, he should only look at clubs that are outside of England. Let me see what else you guys are saying. You're in the UK. Where in the UK? Because where I am is windy. I can feel my building shaking every time the wind is blowing. And I went out very briefly earlier and I had to wear a jacket. Let me see what else you guys are saying. It's not the early 2010s where PSGs were signing Becks and Zlatan. Teams have drastically changed their recruitment from signing mercenaries. That is true. That is true. Teams don't, like, I feel like with Marcus Rashford, and not just Marcus Rashford, a lot of players right now who are down in the dumps and trying to climb out of it, they're relying a lot heavily on their name of what they once were a couple of seasons ago. A couple of seasons ago, Marcus Rashford is relying on clubs investing in him based on that potential, like, I can be that once again. Same with like Jack Grealish. If someone comes in to buy Jack Grealish is going to be relying on what he was before maybe Pep took his superpowers away in order to sell himself to clubs. And I say this all the time, and I apply this to people like Mason Mount, etc. When a player shows you what they are in 4K right in front of you right now, accept that. Don't hold on to the idea and the notion of they were once good, so maybe they will be good for us. Because they are showing you right now what they have been. Can Marcus Rashford be a good player? Yes. Has he been a good player? No. Can Mason Mount be a good player? Yes. Has he been a good player for Manchester United? No. That's literally 1 + 1 = 2. And I promise you guys, the sooner you buy into that, the sooner you buy into it, the less likely your hopes will be broken. I promise you, the sooner you buy into that kind of idea, the less likely your hearts will be broken, and you won't be forced to buy into a narrative of a player that has shown you over 2 or so seasons that they aren't it. They aren't it. For me, the best case scenario with Marcus Rashford is he leaves and United sell him. But I don't like the fact, I think with him limiting himself to Barcelona, saying it's Barcelona or nothing, and, you know, publicly coming out saying, you know, I'll take a pay cut and I'll do this and I'll do that. I think it's going to deter a lot of other teams from maybe buying him or going for him, just because they will probably think he has his heart set on joining Barcelona. And if that falls through, clubs might be put off from coming in for him or being, you know, opening talks with United just because he gave priority to Barcelona. It's the same thing with Gyokeres giving, priority, quotation mark, giving priority to Arsenal over other clubs. Just quickly, whilst we actually touch on that, there's been reported that Gyokeres, and I want to know what shameful person in the chat will still do this. It's been reported that Gyokeres has told Man United he's interested in joining them this summer, despite interest from somewhere else. Now, this is coming from a tier 9 platform. But I want to know whether or not the source is reliable. I want to know, just as a question, if today David Ornstein, Fabrizio, says that Gyokeres is open to joining Manchester United and is open to hearing about the project, etc., etc., who in the chat would take him? After he's snubbed, by the way, it's been confirmed by other journalists that Gyokeres has no intention of playing for Sporting again. He's notified them that he will not be reporting for preseason. He will not be reporting for preseason. And also, it's been reported that the relationship between him and the sporting director at Sporting, that's a good sporting director at Sporting. That's a good one. But the sporting director at Sporting, apparently the relationship is so broken that they are not even on speaking terms. So taking all of that into consideration, taking into consideration the fact that it was reported that his agent notified Man United that they were giving priority to Arsenal, would you guys take Viktor Gyokeres? By the way, the same Arsenal that he's given priority to aren't even sniffing near him. They're not even sniffing near him. They're busy buying Norgard. By the way, I don't know why people laugh at Arsenal for signing Norgard, because I actually think that's a pretty decent signing. The age is a bit questionable, given the fact that he signed a new contract back in like January. Had they gone in for him, they could have got him on a free in the summer. Anyways, Arsenal are too busy signing Norgard and Kepa and this other Mosquera, the centre back, to even look in the direction of Viktor Gyokeres. They don't even want to look. They're not even putting on glasses to look in his direction. Nasty by Gyokeres, if true, Sporting helped save his career. You know what? That is true. That is true. His relationship, I think it just shows that when no disrespect to Sporting, because they are a big Portuguese club, but when bigger clubs come in, players will think that they're better than the club that they're at. Fabrizio said this morning Gyokeres never said no to United, just that he was prioritizing Arsenal. Let me ask you guys a question, okay? What's the difference between him saying no to Manchester United, like him openly saying no, and him saying you're second or you're third in my list? For me, if you're not number one, that's a no. It's like when I ask my parents who's your favorite child. If they say you're second, that just means they don't love me and I'm not their favorite child. But I generally, personally, in my own opinion, him saying Arsenal are my priority and they're my number one choice over Manchester United, that's him saying no to Manchester United unless Arsenal fails. He's saying unless the Arsenal move falls through, then I will speak to you guys, or I'll be interested in you guys. For me, that's a no. And I get it, he didn't verbatim say no, or his agent didn't verbatim say no, but sometimes some things don't need to be said. Arsenal over Man United is simply because of Champions League. He did say his priority was Champions League. And I mean, Ruben Amorim said it in a press conference. I think it was towards the latter stages of the season, when he said that players only wanting to join Players only wanting to join for Champions League or to play in certain competitions, it's the wrong reason for them to join. They have to want to join to play for the team. And I don't want to jinx it, but the fact that Man United are able to sign Cunha and Mbeumo, and I get it, they haven't played Champions League over the last couple of seasons or whatever. They haven't played champs or whatnot, so they don't really know what they're missing. But the fact that they snubbed Champions League teams to join Manchester United shows that they're buying into the project. So you have to try and get players in my opinion, that are buying into the project first and foremost. I think that's the most important thing. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Him and his team are trying to put the fire out on the bridges that he started fires on. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. I think we'll loan a striker late in the window. I do think that with the way that everything is panning out at the moment with Bryan Mbeumo, I do think that a striker might be our third player. There's something about the situation that makes me think that we might actually be signing a striker after this, but it will be a sell to buy situation. So the sooner United can get Sancho out, and the sooner that United can get Garnacho out and Rashford out and Anthony out, the sooner they'll be able to sign a marquee striker. And if that's Gyokeres, okay, cool. If that's someone else, cool. We haven't really been linked to any other strikers outside of Gyokeres, Mateta, and the slight conversations about Victor Osimhen. Now, I saw a report about Jonathan David that it's been reported that reportedly his agents are asking for 15 million euros in commission, which is why a lot of teams are not even interested in signing him. So I don't know if you guys remember, but that's the conversation around recent times when we're talking about strikers. People tend to mention Jonathan David, and I kept saying I don't know why no one's in for him, given the fact that he has a proven track record in Europe. He has a proven track record in a top 5 league, and he could answer a lot of teams' problem that they have, i.e. strikers. Now it kind of makes sense if it is true, and it's been reported by multiple different journalists that that his agents are asking for 15 million euros in commission, and that's nowhere even near what he's asking for in terms of a signing on bonus or his salary. That kind of says a lot. 15 million euros is madness, guys. It's madness. We have over nearly 150 people here. Let's get the likes up, guys. Let's try get the likes at least to 100. We're a couple off of 100, so make sure you guys hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. I think Uthman is accidentally deleting messages in the chat. I'm going to assume that he's got his phone in his pocket or something, because that happens to me sometimes. I won't take away his mod rights for that, but make sure you guys hit the like button. If you want to join the membership club as well, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. Of course, you get to support the growth of the channel as well, the ever growing channel here. The community is growing every single day. I don't know why I didn't make Quartz mod. Let me make Quartz mod. And let me make a couple of people in the chat mod. All right, let's talk about Jadon Sancho, guys. Let's talk about Jadon Sancho, because what the hell? I made this stream, or I prepared the stream with the prospect or the possibility of to freedom. Jadon Sancho to freedom. There we go. But it sounds like that's not going to be the case. And it sounds like we are back at square one. So let's go through what has happened, guys, over the last 24 hours. So it's been reported that Juve was edging close to agreeing a contract offer between Jadon Sancho and Juve. Manchester United have reportedly confirmed their approval of a 25 million offer, and the deal was expected to be closed within the next week. In that same context, Napoli have given up on the Jadon Sancho deal, and then Fabrizio Romano confirms later this afternoon. So that was this morning. Later this afternoon, Fabrizio Romano confirms that both Juventus and Napoli cannot reach an agreement on Jadon Sancho's wages. Both clubs have no problem paying £25 million for Jadon Sancho but the wages are still seen as a huge problem. United only want a full sell, but interested clubs want a loan so that part of his salary is covered. So the situation is, we have two teams that are willing to pay a £25 million fee. Yeah, they're willing to pay the £25 million fee, but they do not want to pay him 300k a week. Now, what they have offered reportedly, I think it's been reported that they were willing to pay up to 100k euros. So that's about like 85 in pounds, 85k in GBP, which is about a quarter of what he earns. The only other team that is reportedly happy to pay him near enough a big salary, bigger than what Napoli and Juventus are willing to offer him, is Fenerbahce. So Jadon Sancho has three situations. He's got Napoli, he's got Juve, he's got Fenerbahce. He has Fenerbahce offering him big bucks, but they are not too sure about paying 25 million for you, but they're willing to give you the wages. And then you got Napoli and Juve that do not, over their dead body, want to pay you big wages, but are happy to pay £25 million for you. Now, I have a strong feeling, guys. Strong feeling. United are going to have to force him out. He's going to turn around and say, if you don't want me to go, pay me out. Pay me out of my wages. And then he's going to go and sign an F-off bonus with whatever club he signs with. Jadon Sancho is playing a game. And he's playing a game that I as a United fan, it's annoying to watch. But as a human, I'm like, get your bag, bro. Get your bag. He's in the last year of his deal. United were the idiots that gave him a stupendous salary in the first place. I mean, he never even hit Jadon Sancho joining from Dortmund at that time, 20 years old or whatever. He never even earned that salary in the first place. But United were the idiots that gave it. So all I can do is laugh at the United sporting director at the time who did it. How much is he on? As of right now, because United are not in Europe, I think he's on like 250. Because he's on 300k. He's on 300k when United are in so he's on 250k without Europe. Or without Europe. And in European football, when everyone gets that 25% bumper, he's on about 300k. The game is the game, we do the same in his position. Yeah, that's the thing. As a United fan, I'm annoyed at it. But as a person, I'm like, I might do the same. That's generational money. 250k a week. Guys, I'm not joking to you. The way that United, this should be a lesson to Manchester United. And I'm glad that one of the things Ineos are trying to change is the wage structure. But I also hope that doesn't mean we miss out on certain players because United are not willing to pay them the money. I think if they have shown in their career that they are deserving of a certain salary, then I think you should pay it. But when you look at the signings United have done in the past, and they had to stand out from other clubs, and even the year that we brought him, we had Champions League we had a lot to offer. Ronaldo had signed, Varane had signed. We had Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Oli coming off of a decent season, whatever you want to call it. They had a lot of, I would say, assets that they could have used to attract him outside of the financial asset. But they used money to lure him in. And now he's saying, it's my contractual obligation. I'm entitled to this. And I don't know if you guys remember, but when Aaron Wan-Bissaka was joining West Ham, the reason why that transfer took a bit of time is because he agreed terms with West Ham. So he was happy to take a pay cut from West Ham, but he wasn't happy to take a pay cut with Manchester United, i.e. Man United had to pay him out of the remainder of his salary, which was the difference between what West Ham were going to pay him and what he was earning at Manchester United. Man United were happy to do that because it wasn't a huge salary. Like Aaron Wan-Bissaka wasn't earning 200-300k a week. But with Jadon Sancho, I don't know. I feel like if Napoli and Juve, for example, if Juve genuinely want him and they are happy to pay this £25 million fee, United should cover the cost of the difference. Why is he still stalling? Because it's no guarantee that United will pay him off. Either you, if you really want to leave, for example, in football, you can give up your right of your contract, basically, and then sign a new contract with the other club. You get it? So if I'm, for example, signed to United View and I'm on 100k a week, and I leave United View and I go and join, I don't know, KG Reckless Sport, and I join for 80k. If I really want to leave United View because, you know, I'm not getting any screen time and, you know, I'm on the bench and I fell down the pecking order, I can choose to give up my 100k a week and sign a new contract with them, meaning they don't have to pay me out. Or I can say, listen, I'm happy to join KG Reckless Sport, but you guys got to pay me my difference. You got to pay me my difference. And that's what happens a lot of time in because players are ready to, like, when that is why, can I say, players can't force moves anymore. Players can't force their way out all the time, because the clubs still have a little bit to play in it. The clubs still have a little bit to play in it. I'm clipping this. Now I'm just using it as an example. Like, what you guys wanted me to use another channel as other channels as an example. The first thing that came to my head was United View and KG Sport. That was the first one that came to my head. But I think one thing that people are probably obsessed with when it comes to Manchester United is just getting their money due. Like, when you look at Man United's financial accounts, guys, and you make sense of it, I can't wait. We are approaching June the 30th. Yeah, that's the end of the financial year. September, we should have Man United's full year accounts. Man United's full year accounts should be filed by September. I can't wait to read it. And I'm going to do a whole video breaking it down for you guys, because then you lot are going to see the stupidity in the way that Manchester United are run. Like, maybe now in this is the first financial year that Ineos will have full control and full ownership over the finances. Because the last financial year, they joined halfway through the season. They joined in January. It wasn't ratified until about February, March. So they only really had Q4 to claim as, you know, something as their own. This financial account, the final accounts of the 24-25 season, we are going to get to see Ineos for what they truly are, and if they are really being honest. Yeah, if they're being honest about what they're trying to change. Because you're going to see the issues with debt, you know, the service debt and the finance debt. You're going to see the issues, and that problem has been there, but you're going to see the issues of the wages. Let me give you a great example. Yeah, I did a short about this on my channel, so check it out if you haven't. But Lyon have been relegated, and this is why I'm talking about finances and salary in particular, because Lyon have been relegated, yeah, by League 2 because of their financial situation. Now, year on year, Lyon saw a rise in their salary and kind of a stagnant approach for revenue. In the 22-23 season, 79% of their revenue went just to salary. So salary took up 79% of what they were making. Now, it's different in French football because of TV rights and all of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to Manchester United, they have to fix their salary issue, because there is no way on God's green earth that there should be multiple players. I don't think more than 3 players should be earning more than 250 if they are. Right now, there's multiple players at Manchester United that earn 200k. And when it comes to trying to sell them, you're being held hostage. And that's what Jadon Sancho is doing right now. It is rightfully what he's entitled to. It is 100% rightfully what he's entitled to. But it's just, in my opinion, longing everything out. We should have been in for Mascara, but now we're trying to get this bum off our books. It's not just him that we're trying to get off the books. There's a lot of people that United are trying to get off the books. A lot of people. And the worst thing is, guys, a lot of players that Manchester United are trying to get off their books, some of them, they will still owe money for their transfers. I'm talking about the likes of Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, Anthony. Manchester United are trying to sell these people, and we always hear people talking about book value. Book value is an accounting concept. When we're talking about pure cash, yeah, Cash is king. If anyone has studied finance, you will always know people saying cash is king. Yeah. So this is why I don't care about book value when it comes to players. When someone says, oh, Jadon Sancho's book value, for example, is £21 million. So if we sell him for anything more than that, it's a profit. That is true. But when you have players like Anthony, who you can sell maybe for 30 million, yeah, we might sell him for 30 million, knowing that we still owe money for his transfer. So what does that mean? Your cash will decrease, even though the asset ain't even at the club anymore. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Do you know how ridiculous from a financial perspective that is? Forget accounting and PSR and book value and FFP and all these buzzwords that everybody likes to speak about at the moment. If we purely speak about the cash element of it, because Jim Ratcliffe said it himself at the end of last year, how Manchester United were about to basically have no more cash left. And when you have no cash left, you can't borrow. Man United can't borrow because you, when you take loans, or in particular, when you service debt to run your business, whether it's a business, whether it's football, whatever it is, yeah, if you service debt, you have to put that debt against something. And usually what football clubs do is they put it against future revenues. A great example, Barcelona. Barcelona did that. When they serviced debt leverage to pull levers, they used future broadcasting rights and future broadcasting revenue to get that debt. But when you have to do that, but you have £0 cash in your account, they're not going to turn around, oh, but you made a profit on someone's book value, so we'll give you that loan. Absolutely not. They're just going to laugh at you. They're just going to laugh at you. So remember, guys, cash is king. Why am I turning this into an accounting lesson? I don't know why I decided to turn this into a accounting lesson. Big up to Red Scare Claire, says, exactly, Minna. This is why I don't understand fans saying, who cares? It's not our money. Still a thing to say. That it's true that it's not our money, but also it impacts the way Man United operates. So it impacts you, because when you realize Man United can't do what you want them to do because of their hands are tied financially, what are you going to do? You're going to be annoyed. You're going to be sad. You're going to kick and scream and shout. This whole notion, oh, it's not my money, to an extent, yes, it's true. But to an extent, you have to remember that it kind of restricts what Man United can do financially. And when it restricts Man United for what they can do financially, you're going to be crying when everyone else is signing superstars and United are signing some random person from Nice. Reported by TalkSport earlier today, Manchester United's priorities after Cunha and Mbeumo is a striker, but if there are sales, they are looking to upgrade on Andre Onana. Diogo Costa is highly rated at Manchester United and is someone that they're monitoring if their budget allows them to. Oh my god, I just nearly spilled my drink. Now he's also been monitored by Manchester City. Manchester City are monitoring him, and the only difference is between him and other players that Manchester United have gone through in this window so far is that he has a release clause. He's got, if I'm not wrong, a 60 million release clause. I don't know how I would feel necessarily about spending 60 million on a goalkeeper. I get everyone wants an upgrade on Onana. I know everyone wants Onana out the door, and I totally feel that. But I don't think you spend 60 million on a goalkeeper when you are still screaming out for a midfielder. You're still screaming out for a striker. You're still screaming out for some quality and depth in the centre-back position. It makes no sense to send... I feel like 60 million on a goalkeeper is that final piece of the puzzle, the icing on top of the cake. That is how I see it. I like Diogo Costa. I feel like he's got errors in him as well. But at this point, who doesn't? At this point, what goalkeeper, guys, doesn't have errors in him? I feel like every time I speak about goalkeepers, I'm always talking about their errors. And then we speak about, oh, but he's an upgrade on Onana. And then we say, oh, but anyone's an upgrade on Onana. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where we go from here is hopefully we get a bloody Brian and Mbeumo. Here we go in the next couple of days. Today, actually. Today. Why is this transfer taking so long? So long. Shout out to Sully, because Sully actually reported yesterday that Manchester United and Brentford had agreed terms, had an agreement in place for Brian Mbeumo. It's also been reported by other journalists since that they have Brentford have wanted to get 62 million and the rest in add-ons. Manchester United apparently have reached an agreement, not exactly on that, but it brings the package to about 65 to 67 million. We will see what the final number is, but I anticipate that the number will be around 65 to 67. It's all about, in my opinion, what is the base fee and what is the add-ons. Sully also confirmed, shout out to Sully again. Sully also confirmed that money was not the deciding factor in Bryan Mbeumo's decision to join Manchester United, but rather the sporting project that was presented to him. Reportedly, Mbeumo and Amorim have had multiple phone calls. So just get it done. Just get it done. Just get, like, at this point, I'm just, guys, in the transfer window is the only time in the year that I have my post notifications turned on Twitter for David Ornstein. Like, I'm not even joking. When I see that black notification come up on my phone with the Twitter app, I know it's David Ornstein tweeting something. And today, it happened multiple times. It happened about Tuanzebe joining Burnley. It happened about Mascara going to Arsenal. And each time I thought maybe like, I look at my phone in excitement, like, maybe it's Mbeumo. Bam. I don't see it's not Mbeumo. Just get it done. I'm just tired. Mina, what do you think of KG's new Mbeumo song? I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it. This Mbeumo deal has dragged on Monday, guys. If we get to Monday and Mbeumo still hasn't joined Manchester United, or it hasn't been announced that they've agreed, it will be exactly 4 weeks, 28 days, 4 weeks since he made his decision that he wanted to join Manchester United. It's also today 3 weeks since their first bid was put in. So surely there's a finish line in sight. Reportedly now as well, 2 other journalists have reported that Bryan Mbeumo is waiting to travel to do his medical. He's ready. He's ready to go. Oh, I just got a notification. I thought it was Twitter. It's not, it's Uber Eats. I thought it was 12. But it's reported that he's ready to go and do his medical. He's just waiting for permission to travel to Manchester to do his medical. And it's been reported that we already know that Amorim wants him in before pre-season. Pre-season starts in 2 weeks. Pre-season starts in 2 weeks. Man United report early for pre-season this year. Then they head off for their pre-season tour 2 weeks later. So as long as... I think coming into this, I was hoping United would have 3 players by the America tour. But now it sounds like it's probably just going to be 2. It's probably just going to be 2. I feel like it's a normal timeline for such a deal. It was the same for Gyokeres and Liverpool. But the thing is with Gyokeres and Liverpool, I feel like with Gyokeres and Liverpool, they were getting Frimpong done, they were getting Wirtz done, and then Gyokeres done. So I'm not surprised Gyokeres took long, but it was always known that he was going to Liverpool. Like, it was always known. Man United don't work, well, from what we know, there's not really much else happening for Manchester United in terms of transfers at the moment. It sounds like everyone is working on this. And I genuinely think I can't lie, I am looking at United a bit sideways because, yes, it takes time to get transfers done. But you should know off the back of your worst ever season, you need to be proactive rather than reactive. You need to be like, I get agreeing terms for Cunha before the season ends. That's nice, but it took another how long before he got announced? And then Mbeumo's taken this much time. If by this rate that we're going at, Man United will probably sign 1 more player if we go off of the average of how long it took them to get Mbeumo and Cunha done, which for me is not good enough because you've had your worst ever season. And also you've had your manager publicly say multiple times that some of these players are not good enough to play. So then you expect them to come back to pre-season with a rejuvenation in their system and a willingness to want to play for that manager. Nah, I don't think so. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that this has taken a little bit of time. And I'm hoping that it kind of gets done a bit quicker. I can't lie. The next transfer, I hope, gets done quicker. Is this the song that KG made up? Boom, boom, boom. We got Bryan and Boom. I'm not singing that. The last time KG made a song for someone, it didn't end well. Now, it's been reported that United are interested in Zaire-Emery. I smell a fib. I smell a fib. If you lot don't know, a fib is a lie. Why would Zaire-Emery leave PSG? Like, one thing I know about PSG is that, you know, Luis Enrique, Nasser Al-Khalifi, them, man, they only sell players that they don't want. I think Zaire-Emery has pretty much a future at the club, at PSG. The last time that they sold someone. What tune is this that you guys are singing it in? What tune is this? I'm so confused. I thought they were singing it in the Mateta, the song that the theme song that Mateta's song is based on. I thought it was based on that song. What tune are you guys singing about? Because I'm trying to read this, trying to figure it out. Like, what song is this? They don't even need, man. They can learn him out. PSG are not doing United no favors, guys. Let that be known. Let that be known to all of you guys. PSG will not do any favors for Manchester United. Let that know. I hate winning the Champions League. Yeah, let me just go play in no Champions League. I hate it so much. Let me just go play in no Champions League. Big up to Martin, says, Minna, this is the first time I'm watching it live. I've already liked, will follow you all the way. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Martin. That means a lot. Welcome to the community. I do daily streams here, regular videos as well dropping. So welcome. Is that all we got to talk about? I think that's all. I think that is all. That is all. What else do we have coming, guys, on the channel? As soon as we get the here we go, guys, I promise you, video dropping straight away. I hope we get the here we go, like, as soon as I end the stream. But we'll have a video dropping on Brian and Mbeumo. It's the Out Here Brothers. I've never heard that song. But I wasn't even born when this song came out, guys. I ain't never heard this song. Never in my life have I heard that song. How's your knee, Minna? My knee is okay. I'm getting better. Alhamdulillah. Thanks. All thanks to God. I'm getting better. I've got a brace on my leg, on my knee, on crutches. Can't play any sports for the next 5 weeks now. Nearly 4.5 weeks. So that's good. It's not good, but time is ending. But the nice thing is, someone in the chat was asking me if I'm playing Death Stranded 2, and PlayStation sent me a code for it. So I will be not playing it on stream, but I'm gonna record videos for it and post walkthroughs on my second channel. Are you Brazilian teams haven't been in? Oh, Bayern versus Flamengo. I will be watching Juve versus City, and what's the other games? Because the other games, I can't lie, they're coming on like to it. Like Al Hilal versus Al Hilal. I need Al Hilal to qualify. I can't lie, guys. Al Hilal, you need to get on your Zoom. You need to beat Pachuca, and Real Madrid need to beat Salzburg. Well, I don't even care. As long as Salzburg and Real Madrid don't end in a draw. Because I need Al Hilal to go through. It's at 2 a.m. Yeah, that is so late. And then we got the group stages on the weekend. So Chelsea versus Benfica, Palmeiras versus Botafogo, PSG versus... Oh, Sunday's a good run of games. That's 2 good games on Sunday. I'll definitely be watching that. Any female signings? Unfortunately, not yet. We've been snubbed by 2 players. I don't know if I can say if the players, but once I can, I will definitely tell you guys the players that we have been turned down by. Obviously, you lot have seen with the women's team, Charlotte Healy is leaving, who's the assistant coach. That's the second time an assistant coach has left Manchester United for a top job elsewhere. And yeah, everyone's just focused on the Euros. Whenever there's a international competition, it makes the transfer window in women's football move a bit slow. But as soon as the Euros is over, the Euros starts next week. As soon as that is over, Man United will probably pick up the pace. Arsenal are getting so active in the transfer window. It's crazy. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Arsenal are set to sign Taylor Hines. They're signing bare people, man. That's what happens when you win the Champions League, guys. I'm talking about women, by the way. Obviously, no, I'm talking about the women because men haven't won the Champions League. But when you win the Women's Champions League, this is what happens. You can sign whoever you want. Mina, you doing Juve City today? Unfortunately not, guys, because when I have this injury, it's hard for me to sit in the chair all day. It's really difficult for me to sit in my studio and to sit in this chair. But the second that I can start bending my knee, I will definitely start doing watch-alongs again. DAZN say they're showing the games for free, but they try to charge me to watch the Club World Cup. They shouldn't, unless you clicked on watching it in HD. If you try to watch it in HD, they will try to charge you. So don't click on the HD one. It's normally got like a lock next to it. So let me see if I can show you. Let's see if I can show you on here. So this is what will come up. When they're trying to show you, when they're trying to charge you, this will come up. But if you just click off it, oh my god! If you just click off it, bro, I thought I was about to get done for copyright. Sorry, DAZN, I wasn't meant to do that. When you click off it and you come to here, anything that's locked here, you can't watch. But anything else that isn't locked, you can watch. So they shouldn't try to charge you. So for example, I can watch Manchester City here versus Juve, or I can get a better viewing experience, watch it in HD, and this will try to charge you. So you will not get charged for DAZN. It's impossible unless you try to watch it in HD, which is the best viewing experience. Otherwise, all these links here, they work just fine. The quality is just pants, though. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The quality is absolutely pants. Absolutely pants. Like when I watch it, sometimes I'm this close to actually just paying for HD. Because sometimes I got bad enough eyesight anyway. Sometimes I'm squinting trying to figure out who is that on the pitch. That's why I like it when they show it on Channel 4. And yeah, you can't, yeah, if unless you put in your bank details, that's the only way they're gonna charge you. But listen, guys, make sure you lot hit the like button on your way out. Let's see, is anyone live? No one is live. No one is live. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. We'll be back tomorrow, inshallah, with the daily dose of Mina again. Hopefully we get here. We go for Brian and Mbeumo. Make sure you follow me on all platforms. Link right here. You see it. All socials are the same, or link in the bio of the video as well. I dropped an unboxing video on my TikTok, so make sure you go and check that out. And I'll catch you all tomorrow, guys. Hit the like button. Have a great day. I'm out. Peace.